fought the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Well, folks, just when I think I've seen everything in this wild Nintendo community, somehow it manages to get even more ridiculous. For a while now, we've had Nintendo influencers coming after us, calling us grifters, haters, and clout chasers. The funniest part, half of them don't even know what the word grifter actually means. They just like throwing around buzzwords because it makes them feel smart while defending their favorite corporation. But by their own made-up definition of the word, one of their very own just crowned himself the king of the grifters. Remember how this certain fanboy spent weeks saying he didn't like this upcoming game, saying the game didn't look good, saying I don't like Sonic style racing games, I don't like the mechanics. He made it very clear it wasn't his type of game and he wasn't supporting it, until the moment a sponsored video came knocking. Then suddenly his tone flipped. Overnight it became, wow, this game is actually pretty fun. Maybe I'll pick it up later on a second platform. And wouldn't you know it, affiliate links and sponsorship tags magically appeared right next to that sudden change of heart. So by the very rules they set, who's the real grifter now? Because from where I'm standing, it sure looks like they exposed themselves. Let's go ahead and reveal exactly who I'm talking about, but before I do, please hit the like button and the hype button as well. It really helps out small channels like mine to be able to stand up to greedy corporations and the toxic influencers.
Something about this game that truly feels special. I know it has this whole cross-world theme where while you're racing, it like changes courses, and it's pretty cool, honestly, and it makes every race feel super unique. But honestly, for me, it's the crossover of characters. They have so many different characters from so many different IPs that to me, this is just stupidly exciting. Like, yeah, today we're going to talk about SpongeBob and stuff, and that's one of many, but honestly, I love that this game has opened up itself beyond the Sonic universe.
Oh yes, it's Nintendo Prime, or as I like to call him, Primey, the man of the hour, the influencer who could turn on a dime the moment a sponsorship lands in his inbox. I just find it hilarious how he went from trashing the game's entire core concept, especially the Sonic style ring mechanics, to suddenly praising them like they're the greatest innovation in racing history. Before the money showed up, he was saying stuff like, I don't like the mechanics, this just isn't for me. Now it's magical. Oh wow, this is actually pretty cool. Call me crazy, but that dramatic shift doesn't exactly scream authenticity. Even if I didn't know he was full of it, you can hear the deception dripping from his voice. It's like he's trying way too hard to convince everyone, including himself, that this sudden change of opinion is genuine. And sure, I'll give him 1 point. He's right about the roster. Sonic Crossroads absolutely destroys Mario Kart in that department. Deep down, Primey wishes his precious Mario Kart world could even come close to that level of character variety and creativity. That's probably why he downplayed the game at first, because he knew it was doing something Nintendo refused to do. Funny how that works, huh? So once again, by the fanboys' rules they've created, he just exposed himself as the real grifter in this situation. And we're just getting started.
And gotten permission and IP license rights and all this stuff to so many different characters. That to me, look guys, if you want a really diverse roster, this is the game that has that diverse roster. Your favorites could be in future updates. That's what's crazy about it. So first, I'll just go a little bit over.
Oh, that part is very true, Primey. Sonic Crossworld does have an amazing and diverse roster, easily putting Mario Kart's 50 character lineup to shame, especially when half of those slots feel like filler. On that point, we can actually agree. But here's where things start to look suspicious. If you listen to his usual Nintendo news videos, he sounds upbeat, excited, energized. He has that let's hype this up together tone. He's confident, he's loud, he's selling the message. Then compare that voice to the tone in this sponsored video. Suddenly he sounds uncertain, hesitant, like he's trying too carefully to thread a needle, and it doesn't have the same natural enthusiasm as the content he generally is excited about. Now look, maybe he wasn't feeling well that day. Maybe he was just tired, maybe he was off his game. Those things happen. and we don't need to jump down his throat over normal human stuff. But if you didn't already know the context and someone simply showed up to you the before and after clips, one where he says he doesn't like the game or the mechanics, and the next where he's softly praising it right after being paid, you start to notice the shift too. It's not the fact that he likes the game now, it's the timing, it's the forced tone. When enthusiasm mysteriously appears the moment money is involved, people would actually question authenticity. We are smart. We can hear when someone is trying way too hard to sound convincing. So maybe he's sick, or maybe he's just struggling to hide something much bigger. That the grifter label his community throws at others might just fit him better than anyone else.
What I want to note here is I, am not like the biggest fan of like fighting games, right? Like I'm not that into fighting games outside of Smash Brothers. And the fact remains that, racing games are kind of another one of those categories where I'm not really into like those simulation racing games, but I do tend to enjoy these more arcade style racers, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds falls right up that alley. Obviously, its unique ability to cross over worlds into those 15 different worlds. I've experienced it many times now. I'm really enjoying that aspect of the game because it does make every race feel unique, even if it's the same course.
Primey, you claim Smash Bros is amazing, and it is, but come on man, let's be real here. Me and you both know the real reason you don't like fighting games. It's because Nintendo barely makes any traditional fighters. If Nintendo suddenly owned 5 different fighting franchises tomorrow, you'd be praising the genre like it's the greatest thing since Amiibo. There are plenty of arena fighters and platform fighters out there. Games that deliver the same chaotic competitive energy, but you'll never touch them simply because they don't have a Nintendo logo stamp on the box. Step outside your echo chamber for once. There's a whole gaming universe beyond Mushroom Kingdom brand approval. But let's get back to the core issue. I find it absolutely hilarious how he suddenly loves the ring mechanic now, because a few weeks ago this man was crystal clear. I don't like the mechanics. The Sonic racing formula isn't for me. The game just doesn't look good. He had no interest, no hype, no investment. Then as soon as a sponsor opportunity appears, bam, instant change of heart. Now the rings are innovative. Now the mechanics are fun. Now it's totally worth checking out. If he had come out and said, you know what, I gave it another chance and my opinion changed, I'd respect that. Opinions evolve, that's fine. But when your enthusiasm magically activates the moment a paycheck is involved, yeah, that doesn't sound like a genuine excitement. That looks like brand aligned enthusiasm for sale. It's not that he enjoys the game, great if he does, it's the timing, it's the rehearsed tone, it's the silence on what actually changed. So forgive me if I just don't take this sudden positivity as a heartfelt revelation. Once money enters the picture, credibility becomes a lot harder to trust, especially when it directly contradicts everything you've been saying for weeks. And that's why I have to call him out, because if I did what he just did, I would be labeled a grifter. I would be attacked non-stop. I'd be haters who just want attention. Funny how those rules never seem to apply to the fanboys in the club.
And unlike certain other racing games, everything here is pretty much a 3-lap, which I think for traditional kart racing fans is definitely a benefit. You have your traditional drifting in here, your item use, your speed boost, your timing, your boost at the beginning, and all of that. And obviously, visually, graphically, this game looks absolutely incredible. I've almost nothing negative to say when it comes to how this game looks from a visual perspective. This is a very pretty game, and it looks well on every platform I've seen it on. And I bet you it's going to look pretty good on Switch 2 as well when it releases there.
And of course, he also throws in that the game looks very visually good, which sure, it does. It looks great now and is going to look great on the Switch too, no disagreement there. But here's where the credibility really cracks. Throughout that entire sponsored video, not once does he acknowledge that he had a change of heart. Not once does he say, hey, I didn't like these kinds of games before, but this one won me over. Not once does he explain what changed his mind, or why the mechanics he once dismissed suddenly clicked with him. That silence speaks louder than anything he actually said. Because when someone makes a complete 180 on a game they openly criticize and then avoids addressing that shift the moment money is involved, yeah, that's not confidence, that's not transparency, that's carefully controlled messaging, and I already know what's coming next. Vigilante, you're just a hater, you're just jealous, Primey would never mislead his audience, you're the real grifter here. They will yell all of that at me while ignoring the obvious red flags right in front of them. I'm not saying he can't like the game. I'm not saying sponsorships are evil. I'm saying be honest with your viewers. If your opinion changed, say so. If a paycheck influenced your decision, own it. When you don't acknowledge any of that, when you pretend you always support something you once rejected, that's where trust gets broken. And guess what? If anyone outside their circle did the same thing, these same influencers would be first in line to call us frauds, clout chasers, and yes, grifters. Funny how the rules always seem to bend to protect their own.
This video that's coming out tomorrow for Thanksgiving, it's not some sort of Thanksgiving special. It's a sponsored video, and it's a sponsored video about Sonic Crossworlds Racing or Racing Crossworlds. I keep mixing it up. Either way, and it's fascinating since I have previously stated that I do not like Sonic racing games. So it's an interesting video. They approved it. It's all good.
And you thought that was the end of it? Oh no. Because if you go back and look, this wasn't something he said months ago. This wasn't an old clip resurfacing. This was the night before, or honestly maybe even just a few hours before his sponsored video dropped. He clearly said on camera that he does not like Sonic racing games. His words, not mine. Now I'll give him a little credit. He did disclose the sponsorship, which I believe he actually has to. So maybe I shouldn't congratulate him for doing the bare minimum. But when you publicly say I don't like Sonic racing games, and then the very next breath conveniently for a paid sponsored video, you turn around and act like you think this game was solid. That opens the door wide for people to question your authenticity. Because during that sponsored video, not once did you mention, hey, I wasn't into this before. I didn't like the mechanics initially. This game surprised me and changed my mind. Nothing. Not a single word acknowledging that sudden flip. It looks less like honesty and more like compensation magically fixed everything. That's not what a genuine change of heart looks like. That's what a scripted pivot looks like. When you say publicly that you don't like the Sonic racing games and the only time you suddenly do so is when money is involved, you can't act shocked when someone questions if you're just doing it for the paycheck. But I get it, Primey, the rent must be due at the moment. And that's it for the video. If you truly enjoyed it, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the hype button, share it around, and make sure you're subscribed. I post a long video every day, and I also go live Monday morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, where I react to the saltiest fanboys around. And also, make sure you subscribe because I'm really trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really need your help. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. It's only $1 a month. You'll get special badges, custom emotes, and of course your name shouted at the end of every video. And once that list gets too long, don't worry, I will turn it into a full-on credit roll so everybody gets their chance to shine. Also, don't forget to check out the merch if you want to rep the Vigilante fire. And as always, until next time guys, stay vigilant. And now it's time to get into the members of the channel. We got Cross Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Mad Fox 94, Dr. Downvote, Oh No It's Justin, Naria, Camaro 28Z, Piplup Stars Commander, J Wesby 65, Geezer Noob, Dustin 360, That PlayStation Gamer, Stephen Rammy, Matthew Buckley, Johnny Bones Jones, Trigger is Groot, Ari Kuos, Kasaria, Vetful Zexel, A1K300, Eden Force, Pokefan, Starlight Mira, Crystal Woe, Phoenix Freestar, The More Incredible Grinlock, Ninja Pat, T-Man the Cool, Kyria Lunar, Ronin Reef 90, Shadow Dragons, Brandon Alex, Mr. Krabs, Back Edge, Nightfall Hero Academy, Vagabard, Switch Addiction, Kiwi Kalaria. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're